Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Yeah. So it looks like we have a couple guests at this table.
I've got Taylor Lefebvre. He's local and the owner of Bear Extraction and Axle Company.
Awesome.
I've got our repeat offender, Jill Wilson, my interim AD.
All right.
Darren, still consider you. Charlie.
I have Giovanni.
Getting settled in here. Wait a minute.
I'm not a guest.
I'm Amy.
Up until you got a do that.
Okay.
Well,
I have my daughter Kate here.
Just wanted to hang out with Rotary.
so we'll get a little update from Mr. Rock here.
Yeah. Hey, it's Jose, man. Nice to see you, dude.
Last weekend it was the business trip in San Francisco. It was very awesome. We spent the whole weekend in the Bay, and on Saturday we took the ferry to San Francisco. It was really sunny in the morning, but like when we went to the bridge, it was kind of foggy. But at the end, it was really sunny, so it was really cool. And I met all of my friends, and it was really great moment. So in San Francisco, we took the cable car, but it was like very busy, and we had to wait 2 hours to take the cable car. It's cool, but it's very long to wait. On Monday, it was my birthday. So I decided to invite all of the exchange students in Hamburg, so like with their different programs and stuff like that. So it was really cool.
Now, come on, I want to say one thing about, go back on that one. So, if you count around that table, there were 13 teenagers around that table, and they were from 12 different countries. There was only one American. They're all smoking.
That's cool. I also had an idea for with the exchange students, and we would like to make a sort of dinner during maybe January or February. And like the idea is just like every student bring like 2 dishes from his own country, and we want to meet like together every like clubs in Hamburg. And for that, we need one place where we can like cook something and like meet the people. We need a date, and so I just asked you if you had some advice for that, like if you can find a place, which date would be the best for you. And like,
The community hall.
yeah. So like if you have any ideas like that, you can like send me an email, or you can send me an email to tell you as you want. Also, like it was my birthday, so I just remind that I have a wish list. So like if you're going somewhere, I would love to be with you. I really like traveling and stuff like that. So I'm looking for a guitar amp. So if there is some guitarist here, I can, like I need one because I'm joining a band in the high school. So.
Any updates in Rotary?
I don't think so. I'll think about it next time.
No worries. So moving on to recognitions here. like we have a recent graduates.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yay, Maggie.
Yay, Maggie.
In September, yeah, when I got my degree. In September, I went down to the leadership conference or training down there, and what I learned a lot of good things, met a lot of good people. The main thing I learned is nobody can break Rotary.
Yeah, time and time
It
again.
makes me feel good, it makes me feel good, so it's fun. But I met a lot of incoming president-elects, so I'll be meeting them more and spending time with them in the future. You wouldn't think that you could spend 2 days, a Friday and a Saturday, all day in a classroom and have a good time. And drive all the way to Santa Rosa and all the way back, but it was good, it was really good. I recommend it.
I don't know if you had a slide for this, but just wanted to remind you, next Friday is the Halloween party for the North Bay Rotary, located at Sunrise at noon. We've been doing some planning. We're going to have some awesome cocktails and food, and it's going to be a ton of fun. It is a costume party, but that's optional. So I'll see you guys next week. It's at Wallace and Hines at 7 p.m. until, I forgot what time it ends. Yeah.
Tom's liquor count.
Welcome back to you, bud.
You kept me calling me. I gotta get back there.
And do you mind introducing your special guest tonight?
Here we go.
And Mr. Watson.
Hey.
Yeah, what's the story?
This is a picture of me yesterday
Graduating.
talking to, yeah, that's right. Talking to Ms. Coriel's class, her leadership class at RCAS.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Thanks.
All right.
That was really good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
Y'all want to call her Miss Coriel?
Yeah.
Only in the classroom.
Or your Royal Highness.
We're going on some adventures.
That's cool.
Good. Last weekend, you guys, if you have never been to Leavenworth, Washington before, this is your next stop. 3 weekends.
No, Lori, probably not.
3 weekends in October, they hold Oktoberfest, and it is the biggest Oktoberfest outside of Munich. It is a town very much like ours, that back in the 60s was a lumber town, and they could see that the economy was starting to go down in that area and decided to reinvent themselves. Took all of the buildings over time and created this little Bavarian community. It's nestled in the mountains. It's beautiful. But I would say 75–80% of the people dress up, and that ranges from 20s on up to 70s, 80s. It's a blast.
This is your normal daily attire, then.
How many steins can you hold?
Yeah,
Oh, they had a contest. How long you could hold the stein out? They had a contest for everything. It was fun.
Hey, Nick. I was walking out into the parking lot after a meeting, and I noticed there's a fancy new truck out front.
Yeah, I got a truck.
Very manly.
yeah. I'll be calling you pretty soon.
That's why I didn't want to. No, but I kept calling Dustin to help me move stuff, and like, it got annoying for me to just not have a truck. I got a truck.
Nice.
I'll be $100.
He really needs us to pay for our tickets today.
And this past Monday, just right after Makeup Monday, there was a whiskey tasting. It was a lot of fun. So thank you, Vanessa, for hosting all the Makeup Mondays. And then we got a lesson on making a cocktail, which was a lot of fun. Got to shake it up a little bit. And then
You all did really well.
thank you. Good teacher. There was you can see the Rogue Whiskeys here. I forgot the name of the company.
Bright and brown.
Right, he had we had the whiskey maker come and talk about the varieties.
Grains from Southern Humboldt. They're distilling down in Oakland now. They have a single malt that is one of two in the country. So that's really cool. Go Humboldt.
Where all the grains came from Southern Humboldt.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So I want to throw out some official recognition. I got these pins when I was at Pets, and I wanted some time to go by so I can kind of let things kind of fall out or see how things played out. And these first couple of months I've had a lot of fun. So the first picture is the community service event of cleaning up Rotary Park, and right afterwards we had a fellowship event. And enjoyed some good food at Vanessa's. And then the middle picture is our first Makeup Monday. I think that was where the podcast was born. We have a Rise event at the American Foundation for Suicide, and then the cider event. And so, Romy and Jessica, if you guys don't mind coming up.
They are. Romy and Jessica today.
So I have Rotarian of the Month pins for you.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We're really just the social coordinators, that's all
I
we're
know.
It's been a lot of fun so far. I'm really looking forward to it.
The sister-in-laws on the team.
I know.
So thank you guys.
It's totally cool, you guys. Make it happen.
So I think this is the third time I put this up where I'm keeping track of makeups, and someone just surged into the lead here.
Oh, yeah. Getting around. Wow.
So, considering
Yeah, really. What is that?
I don't know. How do you do that?
Better back off a
I have to
little.
say it. Was counting wrong?
Have you verified those
every,
numbers?
every time you put your name down, Nick.
Oh, she signs in every time.
She's signing on the wrong sheet. That's what it is.
I have to ask why Terry's on there twice. Is she really good?
Is she?
Yeah, Terry was.
Wow, if you add up Terry.
Oh, she
She
laughed everybody.
Since I am 4 months, or about 4 months in, and I have these Rotary of the Month pins, I don't want to fall too far behind, and so as a newcomer and someone so engaged with the club, I also want to. So I was thinking not everybody has access to social media, so I don't know if everybody got a chance to see this video. Give me 1 second.
I just gotta get away.
See, when I'm president, well, I use like different tools. Not even technology.
John took a really cool drone photo. I think we'll have a little more of this as the year goes on.
Okay, come on. Yeah, fly it in here and crash it into someone.
Into the video. We don't have enough problems already with the video.
And there's the sound, but pretty cool to see.
Okay. Okay, well, just imagine what it's like. It's like modern social media. It's like,
Everybody get up on your chairs and look down. That's kind of.
Yeah.
Going in to see.
look out the window and look down and imagine what it's like
We did.
being a bird.
John did take picture day to a whole new level.
Oh, literally, I like that.
I can play too.
Forget that you can't have your presentation.
Where's Ray? Maybe he can help.
Oh, no. That's as much as I
great.
It's almost like the rotary wheel within the rotary wheel.
Within 2 minutes, we actually all coordinated that.
No, it was within about 5. There were some places, and I think he edited it down.
But
Oh, it is buffering.
Good, the IT person sort
Our cat is a really nice cat.
so if you have social media, check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Is it on your page, John?
So coming back.
I think so.
So reminder, we have the 8th annual Spirits and Spirits tonight.
It's sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah, well, for the 9 o'clock tour, and then I think, what, Julie and Stan, you're going on what, 7:30? 7:30, so there's some fellowship to be had there. That one's not full, but the 9 o'clock is full. And there's 3 tours altogether, so you could go to around back tickets and see if you can still get a ticket to support them.
A lot of fun.
On the 9 o'clock? Me. Yay.
9
Yay.
o'clock. And then I'm curious to know how this might work without power. I'm sure they'll have generators.
We have a generator.
That's
tomorrow.
Oh. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty impressive, actually. We learned the power's out, and within 10 minutes, we get an email from Rotary saying, it's on, we got generators, we're fine.
And the training, yeah.
Not generators.
And then the Diwali event on Sunday. Anybody interested in tickets?
It's sold out.
Oh, it's sold out. Tickets are going away.
Right, it's time for Jump the Highway again. And we're trying to kind of model after Pack Out Green to get like that power 1 hour in there. So meet at the Nature Center at 10 to get all of your equipment and a quick safety talk. We go out, get our sections done, and then those of you who want to stick around for your first drink at Rita's in Arcata afterwards, it's kind of fun, and or lunch afterwards. So we're trying something new. Howard, thank you, put together a sign-up genius, and we're getting teams together so that we can make sure we've got enough for each section. This is a little small, but if you put your first name down, take a look. There's like 3 to a team in a section of the highway so that we can get it done quickly. So anyway, hey, see you then.
Just in layers, more boots.
Yeah.
November 11th is Veterans Day. It is a holiday, but we are planning on helping organize the American Legion to have a flag ceremony at 4 p.m. here at the plaza. Earlier in the morning, we will raise those 2 flags at the plaza, and at 4 o'clock, as of right now, there will be an introduction, a short prayer, and then the local high school choirs will sing a couple of songs, one of which will be the Armed Forces Melody. And then veterans will lower the flag and fold the flags. If I can arrange it, hopefully 1, 2, or 3 World War II veterans will be in attendance, and the flags will be presented ceremoniously to them. Okay? It shouldn't last more than 25 to 30 minutes. I'd love to have all of you there, especially any of you who are veterans. Thank you.
Awesome, Mike.
It's right here at the plaza at 4 p.m. on Monday the 11th.
Thank you for your work on that.
Yes, thank you, Mike. And Taste of the Holidays. So hopefully everybody's gotten their teams figured out. Any updates?
Unless you want a real extreme close-up.
So, first of all, in recognition of some of you know, some of you don't know, Chris and I became grandparents to our second grandchild. Tomo's birthday, and we were also in San Francisco because that's where she delivered. And she's a beautiful little 8-pound, 9-ounce baby, 19.5 inches long. Maria, my daughter-in-law, is tiny, so that baby was just ready to come out of her for sure. But, anyway, she's just beautiful.
It has 2 birthdays.
You can't say your name without singing.
So, Taste of the Holidays. So I wasn't there for the meeting. Romy took on the meeting for me on Tuesday, which was wonderful. Thank you so much. But Ray told me when I took this over 4 years ago, he says, you know, don't get nervous, you know, applications don't start coming in until, you know, the last couple weeks. And I was getting nervous a week ago, and I was putting my tables together and my list, and not everyone was, it was like, okay, I've got to start calling people. And I even told Romy, I said, we need more vendors because nobody's responding. And all of a sudden, you know, and then we had the power outage 2 weeks ago, so that didn't help. And all of a sudden, I'm getting all these applications in, and it's like, okay, so we're set, we're going forward, and it's going to be amazing. We've got the overflow parking area again. We've got George arranged that, and then I'm pretty sure Deanne is still going to donate the buses that we had from Timber Ridge last year. We've got a few new vendors this year, and it's going to be a great event. And so we've got tickets out. Has anybody sold any of their tickets in the last week? Okay, in the last week?
Yeah.
Okay, so that money will go, Rachel's not here today, so that money.
She just walked in.
Oh, she just walked in. So
Rachel,
you
perfect
can
timing.
give the money to Rachel, and then she's keeping track of that.
Or Sophie.
Or Sophie. And, but we really want to try to sell those tickets as quickly as possible. We'd really like to get the money in before the event, because that's really difficult when we start getting it in the night of the event. So if we can get it in early. There's also, I have posters, if anybody wants to take any to put in their office. And we're going to try to put them around town also. There's also the raffle. You've got the raffle sign-up genius from AJ. He sent that out in reference to all of the raffle items that we need.
I have a question about the raffle team list that came out. There was items on the right, suggestions for, was that leftovers or was that suggestions?
No, those were suggestions at the committee meeting. We thought it'd be to offer some themes so that perhaps that you guys could rally around a particular theme. If you wanted to go rogue, I threw that in there. You can come up with your own idea. But I think last year I had 3 or 4 date nights, and just wanted to break it up so that there was a little more variety.
It's a suggestion, so if you'd like to do that, it just kind of gives the teams ideas so they can move forward on that.
But if you go rogue, don't take an idea from another team.
Yes.
And then Howard sent out the sign-up genius, which we would like all hands on deck if possible. We're going to have, this year, Kenny's Chocolates is going to do our chocolates, and he cannot be there, so we're going to have a table just for chocolates, which is, I don't know who wants to be on that. And then we also have the donation table, which is, it's not a donation table, it's more of who we are as our club, as Arcata Sunrise, and the things that we do. Andreas had come up with this, and so we're going to have some displays of the things that we do and a little donation jar there in case people want to donate. Yes.
And I need to find 4 or 5 big glass jars for donations. So if anybody has some of those, let me know.
We don't want little jars. Like
Like a big gallon jar.
Bigger,
Think about that.
a gallon glass jar or bigger?
A gallon glass jar works just great.
I have 2,
Okay.
at least.
All right.
So anyway, so that's about it. we'll have more updates next week. Is there anything that, oh,
Particularly look at the latter assignments. You know, the assignments on the first page or so get filled quickly, but it's those latter assignments where we end up needing more help.
so we're also going to have, because I mentioned that we're going zero waste this year, so I've got 500 dishes, like little appetizer plates, forks, glasses are on their way, but we're going to have to pre-rinse on the day of the event. We're going to have to pre-rinse the dishes just because they're in the box and they could be dusty and things before we put them out on the 4 stations. And then during the event, there'll be, I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but we'll have some signups for bussing the tables and doing the dishes in the kitchen.
There's a dishwasher.
Yeah,
It's
we've
not
got a
that job.
dishwasher that apparently works pretty quick.
It's not like Basic Grange. Not like Basic Grange.
So I'm going to send around this sign up to you so everybody can sign up if they haven't already, and just start on the site. And if anybody wants posters, does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Lisa.
First time we started an Instagram for Taste of the Holidays.
Yes!
Thank you, Patty.
So Patty got it started, but I haven't been on Instagram, and I just had it created so I could ship it to this, but I know Melinda's been our resident PR person, so I was hoping maybe you could help us. I don't know the difference between those hashtags and those ad symbols.
Come on, man.
So if you can offer us a little tutorial.
outside.
Who's gonna help us all out?
Yeah, I don't really know. I was like, AJ, what do you need help with? I'm like, really? Like, I guess, I mean, I don't really know what to say. So if you do have Instagram, or if you want to set one up, you can download it by going Instagram on your app, on your phone. And then you just set up the account and guide you through it. But in order to, if you already have an Instagram, or after you set one up, to connect with Taste of the Holidays, you could follow it. So you just search for it, and then you find it. Yeah, there you go. Taste, just type in Taste of the Holidays.
And shout out to Patty who came to the meeting and then said, whoa, we can do this, and went home and snagged. She did Taste of the Holidays.
Hours on it.
Yeah.
And then you just see where it says following. You would click that, it would say follow, and you click it, now you're following it.
Wow, it just went from follower to 11.
I think, yeah, we got 2 followers.
12. 13. 14.
Refresh.
Get the refresh.
15 followers.
I did my job.
18.
And then if you're going to actually post anything about the event, like you go on your own Instagram, you post a picture, or you're like going to post a picture of the poster so all your followers can see, you can tag this in it by pushing the @ symbol first, and then type in Taste of the Holidays and it'll come up, and then it'll be there. So people can actually go on it and then start following.
Can you post videos as well?
Yeah. You can post videos on there. And then Patty and I will be working together to be putting updates on, well, Patty will be doing it, but we'll be working together because I'll be on the Facebook to make sure that we have updates and stuff. So when you see those come through while you're following that, make sure to, like it or put hashtags and stuff like that. The hashtag is, the number sign. If you don't know it. 23! Yay! So the hashtag is just a way for people. You can literally just put anything in there.
Wait, we weren't feeling so guilty.
Oh my God! So you can add a comment and write hashtag Taste of the Holidays. And then Rotary Club, because we have a thing, right?
Do we have a hashtag for
Wait, the hashtag.
RCAS? So the hashtag is like a hyperlink.
So this,
if someone
look at how
clicks
many.
on that on some other page, it'll take
Yeah.
us to.
I always wonder why people kept hashtagging so many stupid things.
Well, that's a problem, yeah, people.
Hashtag, get with it.
That's Jimmy Fallon.
Hashtag get with it.
So if you click on this, well,
See, I told you, what is it, this is
you gotta be careful, yeah. Let's do the rotary, there, rotary, that should be safe.
Don't look
Oh,
like
wait.
Terry.
There's one.
Oh my God.
The point behind it is that, see how many posts this has, so anyone that has ever posted that will be able to go to this. So, you know, whatever, maybe this guy wants to come to our event, whatever. I'm not gonna discriminate. So yeah, be careful here too. But,
Wow, and look,
There.
we're on Instagram with Chris Hemphill-Sar.
No,
Look at that, it says, getting the club on board on Instagram, just like that.
it's just gonna be a separate. Does that make sense? I know that's a lot to take
No,
on.
it doesn't make any sense. Okay, that makes sense. Show me with 2 beers.
How are we doing with MySpace?
You're trending.
Is our MySpace page going well?
Thank you.
AOL Instant Messenger. Hope that helped.
So, so do the raffle first and then move on to the final pie auction.
I forgot about raffle.
Have one more request.
Here, Dick, this is yours.
John, do we know who's
You get to have that one.
for food? Do we know
I'm
who's
sorry.
delivering? Do we know who's delivering?
No, we have nobody set up to deliver yet.
So delivery for
Takes
backpack for kids?
half an hour, throw stuff in the back of your car, go to the school, easy.
I can go to, or can I?
You sure?
Yeah,
Who brought the bags in this morning?
I did.
Thank you so much.
And then I'll do
Okay,
the
I
other.
can do Trilly and then, just take
Figure it out.
And a big thank you again to Michael who's brought everything up and already made a huge chunk in doing it this time. All right, we got 767316. And.
Hey, Dick, you better look at your ticket.
What was it?
Better ask, what was that?
What is it?
It was 316.
This just magically appeared on my
How did that
camera.
happen, Dick?
I don't know. Where did it come from? Oh,
You said you
you
didn't have any tickets, so I didn't.
I'll give you $2.50.
Oh, after you wait. It'll be a buck on the table.
There's not very many balls.
What'd you get? You got 5. All right, I'll take this one for the used one. I'll bring you your 5. And then 346.
Wow. Missed it by 10. In the other direction.
Give it to, no, you save it for next time, man, no one's.
Oh, we got the big one, got the blue.
We'll leave it, we'll donate it back to, we have to donate it back to Rotary.
Okay.
No, you trying to get deep, Charlie made that one goes out. See, look, you have even more money.
We're gonna donate it all.
Okay, donate it all.
Let it ride.
Good job. I am so happy to be able to present our next Paul Harris Fellow to Tomas.
Yeah, there's
If you have arthritis in your thumbs, these boxes really don't work very well. There you go.
Ooh.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Look this way.
Welcome to, actually, pretty much everyone in this room, everyone in our club is pretty much a Paul Harris Fellow, right?
Yes, I have a cute little example. I also made my daughter's Paul Harris Fellows, and it was a while back, but one of them was in an interview, and she noticed that the person interviewing her had a Rotarian pin, and she said, "Oh, I'm a Paul Harris Fellow," which worked really nicely in her interview.
So, and as you know, many of us are overachievers, and that's a good thing in Paul Harris' world. We have another member who has gone above and beyond and has their second Paul Harris, and that's Ray Knopple.
Ray Knopple!
Well, I'm running up there. I have to say, you look strange today, Terry.
I feel strange today. I feel strange. There you go. Congrats. Keep it going.
Oh, you're gonna make me hug you.
Hey.
And another person who is continuing on this is Mr., it says here, Mr. Christopher Paul Hempel.
Paul.
Number 3 for him. I can see why Terry likes to do this. It's fun. So there's one last one, and this person, oh my gosh, it's hard. I think it's number 7. There's only 2 rubies in it. I guess they stopped putting more stuff when you have so many. And this would be Lori Bryant. Paul Harris. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So we have a bunch of nice items over here. And I think what Terry does is Terry announces them and then Maggie and John auction them off. So John's here today.
That was a one-time thing. She said, "You mind if you do this one time?"
John, guess what?
So who would like to
Let me
give?
give some cash to someone.
Oh yeah, make sure Maggie's got his money. So I know this is going to be a tough sell.
Ooh, that's real money.
You too can buy some.
I'll collect all that at the end. It's $1 at the table.
No, it's just a donation.
Oh.
So I know this is going to be a tough sell, but who wants to be Maggie today and help with the auction? Anybody? Anybody? Do I have somebody? Do I have here? Right here. All right.
Give us a quick preview of what's there.
So what you've got here is you've got a chocolate lover's treats. It's got a little bit of chocolate in it and a lot of chocolate liquor in it.
Read it.
Read it.
I was going to. You wanted a preview of everything. You wanted a preview.
I did.
I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to read this. If you want to preview, wander about the bottles. I mean, of the packages. Okay, so this, who brought this?
I did.
Yes.
And you gotta push the handle, it lights up.
Okay, I need there's a lot of work here.
Yes, you want me to walk around the whole thing?
Do what Carol tells you to do, Carol, and I will read what Carol wrote.
There's a button on the.
Okay. This deluxe chocolate lover's treat package includes a family recipe and the key ingredients you need to make a chocolate martini, including Humboldt Distillery vodka, Kahlua, Godiva, chocolate liqueur. Just add the milk, ice, and shake, or just forget the milk. If you're lactose intolerant, you can still do this. In addition, 3 Dick Taylor chocolate bars are included. They're a limited release collaboration with Alchemy Distillery using their red whiskey, a black fig, and micro batch coffee toffee bar. Plus, plenty of stretchy spider web to spookify your party, and a nifty light-up trick or treat basket. We're gonna start the bid at $100.
How about 110 to Randy? Do we have $100?
Say yes.
100?
This looks really, we got 100 back.
100 from Chris, 110? 110? 110?
So hand over in the left-hand corner.
$110. 108. Okay, 100 to Chris. Anybody 110?
I'll do 105. $5.
Okay.
Chris will do 110.
Okay, 110. 110. It's only $5. 105 to 110.
Is that 110 from Jessica? Good. 105?
110 for Jessica? Right here?
No, I'm good, thanks.
105 to Maggie.
All right. So this is from Brandy. It's Brandy's October, this is Essence of Late Summer Pack. She's made a bunch of different jellies. These are homemade. There's an apple jelly made from Redwood Creek Indian apples. Pear jelly made from Fortuna grown pears. It's all mostly locally sourced. It's either locally sourced here or all her spices came from Bali. Pear blueberry elderberry jelly. The pears are from Fortuna, blueberries from the store. Well, the store's local. And elderberries from Black Lace area. Quince medley. There's a one of a kind, and she wishes she wrote it down exactly how much of each, but it's good. Quince, apples, Asian pears, and vanilla bean from Bali. And then brandied pears. Brandied pears. She should. Wow. Pears from Fortuna. And she says these are really good over vanilla ice cream or just by themselves. So she estimates the value at priceless, but we will start the bidding at $50. Does anybody want to, we've got Lori at 50. You want to take it?
If you've never had Brandy's preserves, they're amazing. So we got $50 in the back corner with Lori. You don't want once in a lifetime experience here. These are good. Do we have 60? Do we have $60? $60 in the back corner? 70 to AJ. Do we have 80? 75? 75 anywhere? Once in a lifetime experience. 75 in the back corner. 80? Do we have 80? 80 going once? Oh, 80 in the corner. 90. That's 90. 90?
Are they poison?
Come on, AJ. Oh, you know you want these. Oh, 100. Even 100. 100? 110? 110? Going once? Twice? Sold.
So, I have heard from Brandy, she just called in, to say that if somebody else wanted to match that, she would do another one. Does anyone else want it for $100?
That was a once in a lifetime thing, I thought.
I'm
really confused now.
I didn't say it was once in a lifetime. So AJ will do the second one. Great, all right.
Twice in a lifetime.
So now, oh my gosh, let's get away from the sugar and the, oh wow.
That's mine.
This is money, right?
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Yes, over here. We have this really, really, really amazing Bounty of the Sea auction item. So how many of you have ever been to Seattle? What's it called? Get ready. There are 4 salmon fillets. There's 2 barbecue ready full-side fillets.
Who's this from?
This is from, who do you think
Greg.
is from Greg?
It's our fisher.
Then there's a sampler of black snapper, copper rockfish, canary rockfish, cabezon, all this yummy, yummy stuff. Plus 6 half pints of canned albacore, 4 packages of smoked king salmon, which are up here. So this is a lot of yummy fish. It's all vacuum packed and sealed. Craig is willing to hold all or part of this item for you for, if you want to arrange it, so you don't have to take it through the He will also deliver this item to you if you'd like to arrange that as well. So this is a full service fishmonger here. This guy, I've never called that before. So I don't know. I think we should start, well, we're going to start at 100, so you guys want to start at 100. We got 100. You want to take this one?
Sure. 100 Jessica, 110 Randy. 110. Giovanni, did you raise your hand? 110. 120?
150. 150.
120, 140?
150.
150 today. 160.
200.
200. Yeah, I'm messing around. 225. 225. 210. How about 210? 210 going once.
225.
220.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Anything, whatever you want to try to make up a number. 275. 275. 275. Anything bigger than 275. 300 to Chris. Ooh. Look at it all. 300 to Chris. 320. 325. Anybody?
325.
325. How about 350? 350. 325. 350. We have 350. 325 to Jessica. 350. 375.
Wait, did you guys bid against each other? Because she said 330. Did you say 350?
I said 300, but that's where I'm stopping. She's working on her own.
That's okay. She's only in it for $30 so far.
She got some little salmon pack, that's it.
Okay, where are we?
You're 330. No, you're 330 over here.
330. 350. 350.
Come on, Jessica. You can
Money?
chew on this turkey.
I know, I want it.
That's okay. There's no power.
Jessica, 350. You would
350
share?
to
You want to
Jessica.
share?
350. No. But if you each want one for 350, maybe.
Probably not. Probably that's pushing it.
Okay, 350 to Jessica. 375. 375. Jessica. 350. 350 to Jessica.
Good job.
375 to Jessica. 400 to Lisa. 400. 375 to Jessica. 375. Going once.
It's for a good cause.
Going
I
twice.
know, it's all for my Paul Harris, isn't it?
Sold. 375.
No,
360. All right, good job. Good job.
330 Chris, 60 to Lisa.
Okay, so we now have a special edition. You wanted to speak about these a little bit?
This is 2 copies, and I'd like to auction them separately. My first book, which is a collection primarily of veteran interviews that I've done over the years. The first 160 plus pages is an Irish immigrant that I met in the fall of 1977. He was the age of 97 at the time, lived to be 101.
Wow.
I spent 16 hours with him. You remember the movie Forrest Gump? How about a real life Forrest Gump who just happens to be at the right place at the right time throughout his life? It's just incredible. And then the rest are, I have 16 World War II veterans in the book, including my father. And about 95 to 97% of it are their words. I record the interview and then I transcribe it, usually going back to them getting their input and getting permission for publishing. I'm already about three-fourths through my second book as far as interviews and everything, people in this area, and I'm still working on that.
Okay, so
And
we're gonna.
I will sign
Okay.
to you.
So, signed copies of these books.
First edition.
First edition. Who wants these books? I know somebody does.
$50.
$50. We have 50, do we have 60? 60, okay, we have 60 here. Do we have 70 over there? Do we have 80 anywhere? 80? 80 over here? We have 90?
90.
90 here? 100? Do we have 110? 110, anybody? Are you nodding? Are you 110 over here? 110 over, 120 to you?
120.
Okay, ooh, we just took his money and $10 back. 120 over here. Do we have 130? 120 going once? Who wants the second one for 120? 120. Okay, we've got two 120s right now. Does anybody want to make one of those 130? I know that makes no sense, but it really does. Okay, he can bring more. So we're going to sell each of those, one to Randy and one to Julie for $120. Thank you so much. Okay, power outage party.
This one's substantial.
Is there a generator in there?
Yes.
Very small one. Very high.
Who's this from? Over there, Lori. So you've got, obviously, you're not going to dehydrate, you're not going to starve or be dehydrated with this one here. You've got the ingredients for autumn mules. You've got your Blue Lake vodka. You've got, this font is hard, but you've got some ginger beer. You've got some bitters. You've got Mozart chocolate cream, pumpkin spice liqueur. Geez, who comes up with this?
Yeah. Who did make this?
This is very loaded.
And you've got chips and pretzels, you've got hot and sweet mustard, the font dip mix, chili and lime dip mix. I feel like I've been drinking. Spinach dip mix, tortilla. Yeah, so you take all your dairy products that you need to use and you just put some dip mix in them and you're ready to go. So we're going to start this one. What do you want to do, John? Starting at 100?
Sure.
I think so.
All right, $100. $100.
100 to Ray. How about 110? 110? 120? 120. $120 Ray. 120? 120? 130. 130. Carol? 130? 125? How about 125?
Come on, it's coming. There's a big power outage.
125? 125? 120 going once? 120 going twice? Sold?
Jill.
Jill.
All right. So who brought the last one here? This is very nicely, I love the packaging. So, we've got, and you're going to help make these, right? The first one? Okay, so we have a bottle of
That's Vermont honey infused gin. And the honey that they infuse it with is also in there.
honey.
And you get 4 little beer glasses.
These are so cute.
Your BC's cocktail in, which is water, honey syrup, lemon, and gin. So.
Yeah, everything you need. And she'll give you a lesson if you don't know how to do it. We're going to start this at $75.
100.
100. Okay, you got 100.
You gotta start at 100, come on.
Okay, I'm going to start it at 125. Thank you, Ray. I can't hear him very well. So 100 to Ray, right? Anybody else? You're going to let Ray have this?
120?
120, come on, anybody? Looks like the audience has spoken.
Actually, what's awesome is Carrie loves gin so much.
Oh,
I'm going to
suck
give
it.
that to her for $120.
And you'll bring the 20 back, right?
No, all of it.
He's gonna pay for it.
Well, he's going to pay for it, and then sell it to her anyway. All right. So 120 to Terry. Whoa.
Wait, no.
100 to Ray. I think we'll sell it to Ray for 100.
Good.
All right. So how do we do, Scotty?
11:25.
So just to offer perhaps an explanation to the Red Badgers or to the folks new to Rotary, this auction is to raise money for the Rotary Foundation and or Polio Plus.
Oh, and today's polio.
Polio Plus today, awesome. We recognize folks at the beginning of the auction with these Paul Harris pins, and when you bid for these items, you split that bid with the person who contributed to it, and you each get credit for your Paul Harris fellow pin. So the people who brought the donations are earning some Paul Harris, and the people who are bidding are getting some Paul Harris. So that's how people are earning these pins on top of other donations that they're making to the foundation. So just thought I'd offer that just so you could know what's going on here. And thanks again for everybody. That was a great auction. Happy Friday and have a great weekend.